Hello, everyone. This is Dalton Holman, and he is going to share with us what he did over the summer.
Yeah, I was down in Fort Benning, Georgia, training with the Army. I joined the Army National Guard about 2 months before school ended last year, and they sent me off to basic training. And then next summer, I would go and finish my training down at Fort Benning again, so that way I'll be MOS qualified.
When did you go? Like, when did you start off?
I left a week after school ended, and so
Okay.
started off from there. I went down to Atlanta, and we shipped off to there. Took some buses down to Fort Benning, and then we started there. So
Where is Fort Benning?
it's near Columbus, Georgia. It's only about
Okay.
3 hours away from here. So
Okay.
we did a lot of training. So it's a giant culture shock when you get there. You have these drill sergeants just yelling in your face, and you're trying to do everything right so that way you don't get smoked or in trouble for it. And so they're just trying to teach you a lot of the time how to react to a lot of stress when, and do the right thing and make sure you're doing everything correctly, even though there's a lot of stress on you. Because in the real world, you're out in Afghanistan, Iraq, wherever the fight is, and you have, fights going on, you're against combatives or whatever, you have to be, not freaking out and not, just going nuts. So you have to be able to react to that stress and do the right thing. So that way, that's how our Army is. That's how it works, because we're the best of the best. And so that's how they train us. And a lot of the times, there's 3 phases during basic training. And it's red phase, white phase, and blue phase. And each phase teaches you a little bit differently. Red phase is a lot of mental stuff. They're beating you down, they're smoking you, which is doing a bunch of workouts, push-ups, you're just sitting there knocking out push-ups because you were talking a lot or something. And so, but they teach you how to just act like a soldier and do the right thing and not messing around at all times. And so, in white phase, you get to shoot your M4, and you learn to become a rifleman, basically. And so, you do 3 weeks of that, and they try to teach you a lot of how to shoot, when to shoot. And then during blue phase, you do a lot of urban operations. We did an FTX, which is where we stayed out in the field for 3 nights. Actually, it was 2 nights, 3 days. And so, but what it is you get a patrol base going, and you're with 50 other dudes. And so,
Dude patrol?
Yep, a dude patrol base. No, a patrol base, and you're just getting constantly attacked throughout the night or during the day. I remember I was eating lunch. We had MREs. Those things can be good or bad depending on which one you get. But eating lunch, and all of a sudden I just hear a grenade go off, and then we're getting shot
Wait,
at.
like an actual grenade?
No,
or?
it was a dummy grenade.
Okay.
But it makes this whistle noise, and then it blows up. And we had this joke. Somebody would whistle, and we'd all of a sudden freak out because we were thinking there was a grenade. And every time there was a grenade during FTX, we'd have to yell "incoming," and you had to drop to the ground immediately. And so a grenade went off, and all of a sudden our drill sergeants were coming out of the woods with blanks firing at us. And so we had to drop down, get to our fighting positions, and start firing back. So it's a lot of, they go from teaching you how to be a soldier to becoming like infantrymen and how to react to contact, stuff like that.
Okay.
So why did you choose to go to the National Guard?
Well, I chose the National Guard because right now I can't go active, and I wouldn't want to go active because I want to do college as well. I want to go in as an officer because if you go through college, I can get it paid for free through the National Guard, basically. I'm not going to have any debt, and it's going to be great. And then once I get through college, I'll be an officer, and I can commission over into the Army, or heck, I could actually commission to any branch I wanted to, and be an officer and have debt-free, and then I'll serve my 20 years, and I love my country, so I want to serve.
So what are some of the benefits of joining?
National Guard? Depending on your ASVAB score, you get the GI Bill, which helps pay for college, and then you get the GI Bill kicker, which will add even more money to college. And it's also a great help if you get a scholarship, like through school, like the Hope Scholarship, something like that. That money can go into your pocket instead of going towards college.
Oh, sweet.
But another benefit is I got a $20,000 sign-on bonus for signing up.
Hey.
Yeah, so it's a nice help, and I'm going to get $10,000 of it after this coming summer. So that'll be a giant help for college, getting ready for that. And they have life insurance, health, and just medical stuff. All that's covered. And I can get like $400,000 of coverage on me for like $50 a month. And that's just the high end. I can pay like $1 or $2 for about $10,000 or so.
Okay.
So it's a lot of freaking help to my parents and them not having to pay for college. And so, I mean, it's just it's 1 week in a month and 2 weekends in the summer. And so it's just, I'm going through, I get to train 1 week in a month with some friends of mine. And then the rest of the time I'm act as a civilian, and it's not gonna it doesn't busy up my schedule at all.
Yeah.
Like at all. So I mean, it's a 1 week in a month. I get paid for that weekend too. So it's a great help. I love it. It's a lot of fun training. I was at drill this past weekend, and I learned how to kick in doors and stuff. That was pretty fun. We went in and had our, we call them rubber duckies, and they're just big old rubber molds of M4s and M16s. And we go in, and we have this pretend little setup of a house, and we just bust in. And they're teaching us, so it's really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I loved all the training at Fort Benning. It was really hot down at Fort Benning. It was a lot of sweating and getting rained on. I remember I was at a range, and we were been shooting that day, and all of a sudden we see this giant dark cloud come over the treetops, and we're all just like, oh, this is not gonna be fun. And I promise you, within a minute, we were soaking wet down to the bone. There was nothing dry. I couldn't see maybe 5 feet in front of me. That's it. That's how hard it was raining. And so we sprinted. We sprinted to these bleachers that they told us to get under, and because there was lightning. And when there's lightning, you can't be outside. That's what they have to do. So the drill sergeant's yelling us to get under the bleachers. We get under the bleachers, and we're all sitting there shivering because it's so cold. Because it went from 90 degrees, like 70 degrees in like 2 seconds. So we're all sitting there soaking wet, shivering, and we started busting out laughing really, because one of our mottos was embrace the suck. And you're just like, you're sitting there, and the drill sergeant always tells us, you guys may be sucking, but this can be, this is part of your training. This is what you're gonna do. And we really we start laughing a lot of the time. When it's a bad day, we just start laughing because there's nothing else you can really do. You just embrace it, honestly. So I love it. I got to meet a lot of great people, a lot of new experiences, a lot of life experience. So.
So what about when you're in the room with the gas mask and all that?
Oh, the gas chamber. Yeah, that was my favorite part.
Wait, I did not hear about this.
It was the gas chamber.
What?
Yes. So it was during. I think it was the second week I was there. Don't drink milk.
They threw gas at you on the second week?
Yeah, no. So you go into this giant room with about 30, 40 other dudes, and you have your gas mask on, and you walk in, you're all standing, and you're really tight together against a wall, and the drill sergeants are in there talking to you, and they're just like, all right, you're going to do this, you're going to lift up your gas mask, and we're going to make sure that you broke the seal, and that way like the air is actually hitting your face, the gas is hitting your face. And so you're supposed to lift it up like this, but we're supposed to hold our breath and close our eyes. So then we close it back up and we seal it so that way we can breathe again to make sure we can actually use our gas mask in case if there was a gas attack. And then once we're about to leave though, they make us take off our gas mask. We got to take off our helmet, take off the gas mask, put it back in this little satchel thing, and then put the helmet back on. And we have to be saying we have a soldier's creed. It's pretty long, but you're supposed to be saying it and while you're breathing in the gas. And honestly, it didn't affect me at first. Like it was like kind of like campfire smoke getting in your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And then some people have worse than others, but campfire smoke in the eyes. And then I was breathing it, and I was like, okay, this isn't too bad. But I made the mistake of coughing, and then I just couldn't stop. So I was sitting there coughing the entire time. But once you get out, as soon as you hit the air, you take a deep breath, you're good. I mean, so you just have to you got to flap your arms too.
I thought they were throwing tear gas.
Oh,
I thought that's
it's
what you
tear
meant.
gas. It's
Oh,
tear
is it
gas.
really?
Oh, yeah, it is. It is tear gas. It's called CS gas, and they
Jeez.
yeah. So you get that experience. Honestly, I was enjoying all of it, but
So for someone that is thinking about joining or just doesn't know much about it, what would you tell them?
honestly, it's a great experience. It's a great way to get your college paid for and have you're serving your country while getting to have your civilian life. Like I can go to a Friday night football game and next day go to drill. So I mean that's what I did this past weekend actually. And so it's not it doesn't affect my schedule. I'm getting paid to have some fun. I got paid during basic training. There's some nice money. I came back with a couple $1,000. And so, I mean, it's one of the best things in the world, honestly. It's you're serving your country, yet you have your civilian life, and you get to do some things a lot of people don't get to do. There's honestly, they told us down at Fort Benning that we're like 1% of the population that does this kind of thing. And so, being that 1% of the population who would actually decide to go and serve our country, it's a great feeling.
Meanwhile, I stopped eating peanut butter over the summer. So that's how
That's good. Good
that's
for you.
how I'm going.
All right.
Well, thank you for sharing. And hey, I don't know what to say to you guys, but thanks
If
for
you guys,
watching.
if you guys have any questions about the National Guard, you can come talk to Gable, or he can find me, or even Carly Moore. Actually, she went down to Fort Jackson as well. But if you have any questions, anybody has any comments, concerns, musical requests, find us. We'll definitely talk to you about it.